Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Alpha Battle League. It is now week 10 and we are facing the Richmond Spinaraks for our second battle against them. So this is going to be against my good buddy Trevor. Last time we beat them 2-0, but Mega Tyranitar nearly brought it back. So I prepared more for Mega Tyranitar. This time, instead of bringing Noivern, we're bringing Staraptor, because Staraptor, you can close combat that Tyranitar and it'll destroy it. I know you can outspeed him too while you're holding that Choice Scarf. Medicham, I know you're ready for some action. If you can high jump kick that Tyranitar too, we're set. But I'm so hyped for this match and I'm so ready to go. Trevor, I will not be holding back like I did not last time. We're gonna keep up this win streak. Let's go, Toronto Weaviles! Alright, well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our Week 10 ABL match against Trevor and the Richmond Spinaraks. Now, before you say anything, as you can see, we are in the Showdown replay screen, and I screwed up. I screwed up, me being the incredibly intelligent being that I am. Forgot to turn on my audio condenser. And, short notice, I was not recording my audio. So we are here in our replay thing on Showdown. Thankfully, they do have the replay option here. So we can go ahead and watch the battle at this point. So, we're going to hop right into this. I'm just going to discuss the battle. I'm sorry that it's not going to be live. So, enjoy it anyway, I guess. So, we're here. So, he led with Porygon Z, and I led with Medicham here. And my thought process was that, let me slow this down here. And my thought process was that he was probably going to switch out into some Pokemon because I'm strong against Porygon Z. So I'm like, maybe I should set up a bulk up. And that's what I did. I set up a bulk up, and he sent in a Mungus here. And I'm like, he's probably going to switch out, so I'm not going to go for Psycho Cut. But he does stay in. And we get the effect spore, and Medicham falls asleep here. I was very surprised that he stayed in here with a Mungus, knowing that I could have just went for Psycho Cut and O-Code him. So, but High Jump Kick still did a lot of damage regardless, so he actually goes for Clear Smile here, which I was not expecting, and clears my stats away. And as you can see on the side here, well, not on the side, Trevor brought Manaphy, Amoonguss, Steelix, Porygon Z, Tyranitar, and Volcanion, so a different team from last time. And my team was Vileplume. Well, you can see my team in the layout. So, I'm still asleep here. He starts going for Giga Drain, and I'm like, do I stay in here and just try and Psycho Cut, or do I just let Medicham die? And I'm just like, you know what, I'm going to stay in, but I do wake up, I go for Psycho Cut, and it of course kills the, what's it called? The Amoonguss. So he brings in Volcanion here, I'm just like, High Jump Kick's gonna do a lot of damage here. So it goes for Heat Wave, but it misses here, and I felt so bad for Trevor here. So then, he switches out into Manaphy. Psycho Cut does a decent amount of damage, but of course he's gonna live it since he has 100 base stats. So he switches out. I got on the Heal here, which is immune to his, Water Stab, and I assume he's probably gonna switch out into Steelix here, so I go for Surf, but he actually goes on the Porygon Z, and I'm like, I can just Surf again, and I thinking it could kill, but it did not kill, and he goes for Tri Attack, and he dies here. So I bring in Medicham, because I have Bullet Punch on Medicham, so I click that, and Porygon Z goes down, and I don't remember who he brings. He brings in Manaphy here, and I'm like, I can't let Medicham go down here, because you can see, Medicham does so much work to his team. It bops the Volcanion, T-Tar, Steelix, Manaphy, pretty much all of his Pokemon. So I bring in my Levitee here, and I get the Marvel Skill boost off of his Scald, and I thought that he was going to have Energy Ball, so I predicted that, and I go in the Vileplume, which resisted by ×4, and I was like, sweet, we predicted the Energy Ball. So at this point here, I'm just like, he might have Ice Beam, so I think I'm just going to stay and go for Sleep Powder, but he actually switches into Steelix here, and I'm like, I'm obviously not going to stay in. I go into Medicham, which High Jump Kick is going to do a lot of damage to this thing. So, it doesn't kill, because Steelix is super bulky, but he does have the Rocky Helmet, so I'm like, ooh, I should probably switch out, so I don't let Medicham die. So I go on the Ferrothorn here, which can pretty much wall anything that Steelix wants to go for. So he goes for Rocks here, which does suck a little bit, but I did have Defog on Staraptor. So he goes for Taunt here, but I go for Gyro Ball, and he just keeps gonna go for Iron Head, but he does die to Ferrothorn's Iron Bars. And at this point, I think he sends in Volcanion here. So I'm like, alright, he's probably going to go for Heat Wave. So I go into my Levitee, which is special defensive wall. He goes for Heat Wave. It actually does a decent amount of damage to me. So I just decide to recover up all my health. So I'm good at that. And then he switches out into his Manaphy here, obviously, because why not? So I'm thinking he's probably going to go for Energy Ball again. So I just decide that I'm going to switch back into Vileplume here and resist the Energy Ball with ×4 again. And I'm just like, so Steelix is not around, so I can go for Sleep Powder again. And he goes in the T-Tar, and I Sleep Powder the T-Tar, which is huge for me. And at this point, I'm just staying in here with Vileplume, and I just Giga Drain away. Because that's the safest play I could do. So I just start spamming Giga Drains. It's about a 4-hit KO, I think. 4 or 5-hit KO. But he does wake up on his last turn of that he was alive. So he was asleep for pretty much the majority of the time. So we just keep spamming Giga Drains here. It leaves him on 5 health. And he wakes up at this turn. Actually, no, he doesn't wake. He wakes up next turn. And then he clicks his Ice Punch. And that doesn't kill Vileplume because we have a lot of defensive EVs. So Vileplume getting 2 kills here. Vileplume actually did a whole bunch of work for me this battle. I'm just very happy about that. So he sends a Manaphy here, goes for Ancient Power. I live that, of course, since I'm a Vileplume and I'm bulky. I go for Sleep Powder. I'm just like, I can just stay in and Giga Drain this thing. So that's what I do. I Giga Drain. It doesn't kill him. And at this point, I'm just like, I should get all my health back. So I go for Synthesis. I do that. And then I just go for a Giga Drain again. For why not? So Manaphy goes down here. And then obviously his last Pokemon is to send in Volcanion here. So I'm just going to sack off Vileplume here so I can bring in any other Pokemon. But Volcanion dies to the Life Orb damage anyway. So the Toronto Weaviles get a 4-0 victory over my good buddy Trevor. So if you guys enjoyed, make sure to click the like button down below. And their Toronto Weaviles are now 9-1. The season is coming to an end though. So I'll see you guys later. Have a beautiful day.